Let's talk about the difference between accumulating money for retirement and distributing it. What got you to retirement is vastly different than what's going to get you through retirement. We have a visual that can easily demonstrate the difference. We have a PowerPoint presentation, which you can have if you want, or you could simply use a whiteboard or a yellow pad to make this demonstration. In our example here, your client is putting away $1,000 a month towards their retirement. And we see a classic V shape in a market cycle. At the top of the cycle, your client is putting away the $1,000, and their favorite mutual fund is selling for $100 a share. Obviously, with their $1,000, they're buying 10 shares of that favorite mutual fund. In a classic market downturn, the market bottoms out, and at the bottom, your client has the intestinal fortitude to continue to put away their $1,000 a month. At the bottom of the market, this is actually a good thing because their $1,000 a month, if that mutual fund was selling for $10 a share in our example here, they bought 100 shares of that fund. History has shown that the market does eventually recover, and in our example here, it recovers back to where it was before at $100 a share. Their 100 shares are now worth $100 a share, which is a very good thing. We call this dollar cost averaging. It's not rocket science, but it effectively demonstrates how having fortitude and discipline during a market downturn in planning for retirement or accumulating for retirement can be a very positive thing. But now let's look at the same example, except for now we're going to distribute money for retirement instead of accumulating it. Same $1,000 a month example, except for this time we're taking money out of the market instead of putting it in. At the top of the market, they need $1,000 a month to live on. They have to sell 10 shares to raise that $1,000 a month. We experience a market downturn similar to what we showed on the previous example, but now instead of selling 10 shares, they're having to sell 100 shares to generate that same income. Obviously, the significant difference here is they do not get the benefit of the rebound. They've sold this $1,000 or 100 shares, and they've locked in those losses. This really demonstrates the difference between realized losses and unrealized losses. Realized losses are selling the shares to generate the income that's needed. Unrealized losses is the ability to weather the storm. Once again, reinforcing the difference of distribution versus accumulation. Instead of dollar cost averaging, we call this dollar cost ravaging. Really reinforcing the idea that a plan is critical. Once again, this is an easy way to demonstrate to your client the difference between accumulation and distribution and what is required to address both phases of money.